So,
Static Terps.
he's already in there.
DRM. Free music. Music.
What's up, Static? Thank you so much for
How's it
joining
going, dude?
us. This man did not hesitate. Stream went
Oh no,
live.
he the
Click
second
on.
the second we went live, he's like, "Fuck that! I'm saying my opinions right away. They will be heard, and you guys will know about it."
Fuck that gold flying bitch. No. So we all know why we're here. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It's been out for I think 2 weeks now,
Yeah,
or even longer maybe because I was on vacation when it came out I think so it could be even longer, but yeah, so it finally came out. I saw it last night. I saw it in the Cineplex VIP, so I had a
mm.
nice big comfy seat. I had some, you know what? I had some coconut shrimp.
Oh goddamn!
Yeah, yeah,
Look at
but
this guy. Look at living in luxury.
yeah, war recession. But
That's hilarious.
but no, but yeah, it was great. The one thing I'll say though is I keep forgetting. Don't go to the theaters on Tuesdays.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Why is that?
it's when all the pores come out. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry, a little cognac on the side too. I could have, but I didn't. Coulda, shoulda, but didn't.
There you go.
I thought for sure my wife would take something. I thought she'd take some wine or something, but she didn't. She wanted just a Diet Coke. She just wanted to watch the movie with a Diet Coke. It's Guardians of the Galaxy, you know. It's
Yeah.
a kids movie. You don't drink on a kids movie. What's wrong with you?
Do you know what? I wouldn't even that like this one was kind of dark.
It was.
I don't know.
I
They
go ahead.
No, like I said, they went to some really dark tones, and they didn't have any problem showing like most. I guess you could say some gore, but they kind of didn't have a problem with it. The other movies, they just really made it more apparent. But it wasn't like massive blood and guts. It was just a lot of splurting of stuff.
It was strange because to me it's like they made Tim Burton cute. That's all they did.
I mean, I
Well, like
guess.
like Floor, Teeth, and Lila was the other one. I think
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
terrifying. I didn't want to look at him.
Oh, Lila wasn't so bad, but the other two, yeah, Floor
Floor was
was
the worst.
Floor was a little. Oh yeah,
Floor was the absolute
and
worst.
I don't know because like what's her. Oh yeah, sorry, I mixed Floor and Teeth up for some reason. I don't know how. Because I kept thinking because all I can think of with Teeth is Floor, which is the rabbit with the giant freaking thing on his face,
It
and then that
reminds
for
me of
some
like a
reason,
boss from Resident Evil or something. Like it's just, but she had the
I
cutest. She had the
was
cutest voice. Also, it was strange.
a little bit, yeah. I kept on getting a lot of what's it, Monty Python vibes from it.
Also, for
Yeah,
real. So let's start from the
yeah,
top
yeah,
because people are like, "Who the fuck is Floor?" For those that never didn't see the movie, they're watching this.
yeah.
So let's take it from the top. So what did you think? What did you like?
I thought the movie was great. Maybe yeah, I honestly thought the movie was great. I can't really say that there was anything there that was really negative. Like there's some things that didn't really drive with me too much, but other than that, uh it was fun. I liked that there was a little bit more of a darker tone, that they made you care a little bit more about some of the things that was going on with Rocket. But there was definitely a lot more focused on Rocket than it was on Quill,
Yeah.
but it was also really focused on like everyone on the team because the other two focused really hardcore on Quill, and like everyone else kind of felt like a side piece.
Hmm.
So it's kind of nice that they put them off to the side a little bit, focused on like everyone else in their story. Uh, Although the Gamora and Quill stuff was pretty cool. It was nice to see
Hmm.
that like they were trying to like rectify that whole thing, maybe bring her back a little bit. There was like that little bit of like, well, maybe she might come back because she started to see what she liked about Quill. But at the end of it, she ends up going back to the Ravagers.
Hmm.
Um, the one thing I didn't like, I don't know if you agree with me on this, was the very end where they just tacked in Quill basically like about to die.
Yeah,
I just felt like it was like, oh, so there's all this stuff happening. It's like, oh shoot, he happened to have dropped his iPod, and then he has to go back and get it, and then he
it's a
jumps through
Zune.
space. It was just
It's a
what,
Zune.
whatever the hell the thing is. It's an iPod. It's an iPod. It's not even an iPod Shuffle. It's just an iPod. But like it just felt really tacked on at the end. Like they were trying to just like, oh, we have to make it seem like cool, like something really bad was going to happen to Quill. I guess let's just throw it in here, and that was pretty much it. But the rest of the movie, everything that was going on with Rocket, all the other characters, even the end, they sort of tied things up in a nice little bow. Things still felt a bit rushed. But all in all, like the whole adventure, them going through the what was it, that science lab,
Hmm.
that
You mean that
felt
the spaceship at the end, or?
no, not that one. The bioorganic
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
planet
yeah.
place, that place. Yeah, where they're basically the Power Rangers.
Nathan Fillion. Yeah.
That's who it was. Oh my god. I'm like, this guy, he's so familiar. Why is he so familiar? And then you know what? Big Mouth, freaking Big Mouth.
Yeah.
It just made him the biggest thing in the world.
It's yeah.
Uh,
It was who should have been Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie. Fuck you, Sony. Um.
yeah, no shit. No shit. He would have fit the role perfectly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But
So what was your favorite part? What was the part of the movie that you took away? Actually, no. Let's finish with the cake. The part that you took away that you didn't like too much was the end, right? The
yeah, well,
the
just
Peter Quill
the
potential death scene.
yeah, the Peter Quill potential. It really felt tacked on. Uh, like it was. I guess they wanted to do something to like bring some kind of heartfeltness for him. I guess for Gamora's sake.
Hmm.
But it just felt like I said, it was just really tacked on there last seconds out of nowhere, and yeah, that was pretty much it. And um, I guess you could say the set list for for the music this time around was it was good,
I yeah.
but it didn't have as a high intensity as the first two.
Yeah, well,
It
it's
was a lot more
because
fun the first two.
it's funny because they progressed throughout the movies, right? They started with the 70s stuff, then they went into the 80s, and this one obviously they went into the 90s.
Yeah,
But I don't know, like the 80s stuff just jives better with our generation. That's all,
yeah, I guess.
you know. So I thought it was a good set list. It just for me it didn't hit me as hard as the other ones. Um,
No, that's it. It was fun. It was good. Like even the creep. I still can't tell if that was a cover or if that was just a more melodic version of it, but it was
at
good.
the beginning,
Yeah,
yeah, it was a cover because I'm one of the few people that watch the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special,
yeah, no, I saw it.
and the guitar player for the town in Nowhere, he was the one
Oh,
singing
okay.
"Creep" in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Favorite part.
Favorite part was probably the what's it called? Oh my God, Groot, where he just like he whips out all the freaking guns. Like it wasn't
Oh
just
yeah.
like two, three, or four. He's just like, let's just bring out all the guns, and he just him and Quill just annihilated that entire room. That
Hmm.
was freaking cool. And right after that would probably be the whole fight scene with obviously the entire team. That was just fantastic. It was nice
Yeah.
to see them all like do their thing. The part that like probably really hit home with the whole movie though was everything that was the pretty much that was going on with Rocket, uh like his whole backstory, him like wanting to have saved like basically rectify his mistake from back in the day, or what he considered his mistake from back in the day,
Hmm.
and not being able to save his friends.
Yeah.
And then like yeah, there was some pretty touching moments in in this whole movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really it had some dark tones. They didn't do like what's it called there? Love and Thunder did, where every time there was something that was tense, and then they just threw a whole shitload of jokes at it to make it kind of work.
Yeah.
This one, like they took their time with it, and then when they put the jokes in, there was just like one or two, and then they moved on.
Well, do you
You know what
agree
I
with the
mean?
sentiment that a lot of people are saying that? how this feels like classic Marvel. Like Marvel we grew up with,
Yes.
2008 Marvel, Iron Man 1, all that stuff.
Yes, it did. I found it did. This is
Hmm.
this is where Marvel was shining really really well. Obviously before Disney, because that was obviously before things really changed. But yeah, it was nice to see the different tone and like the back to their roots kind of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a side note, like the thing I want to touch on the music aspect that you mentioned, which is like it didn't hit
Hmm.
home with me. It was a great set list, but it didn't hit home with me. And it's funny because when you're watching the post credit scenes,
Hmm.
when they're saving this planet from whatever, the new Guardians, and Rocket just blasts out the original first tune.
Yeah,
You were like, okay, there you go.
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it,
That
it,
was
it was
good.
like
I
it was like
love
a
that.
nod to the fans, like, hey, we know you guys are there, enjoy.
Yeah, no, that was definitely like a really nice way to like tie like everything off like right towards the end there.
Hmm. And
Where,
I'm not ashamed to
where
say. Sorry, go ahead.
where the heck did the dog come from? Was that in the Christmas movie?
It wasn't a
Because I
Christmas
remember
special, yeah.
seeing. Okay, okay.
It wasn't a Christmas special. I think it was in Guardians 2 at the end, but I can't be sure about that. But I did see that dog somewhere before, for sure.
Mm.
Yeah, and I remember the Russian female voice going with it. And yeah, and yeah, she's a good dog. Um,
Oh my
but
God.
that dog had to be it had to be animated, man. Because the moment you said bad dog, like the way it just broke down and you saw the fear. Well, you saw the sadness in its eyes. I was like, there's no way to train a dog to do that on command.
Oh no, for sure.
So I'm pretty sure it's
Like,
CGI, but it looks great. And overall, the CGI in the movie, to me, all of it was great. Like,
yeah, again, this went back to old Marvel where their stuff looked good,
yeah, it looked
not
good.
like Ironheart.
Aren't fuck Disney as a whole, it's like I said, the reason this movie looks good is because they took the budget away from Mando. I was like, what do we do? Just take Yoda as a puppet, throw him across the room, you know? And I was like, we'll use the money from that in Guardians. And I'm pretty sure that's what they did. Because I think they threw all their money. Yeah, Nana's bananas loves the dog. I'm happy there were no cats because cats suck. But
Oh,
half the fan base
uh,
gone.
yeah.
My 5 viewers turned to 2.5.
Who's the
um,
point five? We don't talk about that.
Nightbot.
Yeah.
So I like you love the movie.
Yeah.
Felt like classic Marvel. Um, it's just a great story from beginning to end, and the way the movie started with Rocket walking around and they're playing that song. What'd you call it again?
Creep.
Creep. And you find Quill in a bar, pissed drunk. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's where the movie's going. That's where
Yeah.
that's where we're going with this. And then immediately the tone changes. Rocket gets shot. He's hurt badly. They can't help him because something's wrong with him, and they just fucking like Quill just snaps out of it, and he's like, "Family needs help. Let's go."
Yeah. No,
So,
and he was like a little bit in and out of sorts. Just like, oh, let's just throw this med pack on. It'll be fine.
mhm.
Somehow, I was about to say Gamora. What the hell is her name?
Nebula.
Nebula.
Mhm.
That's it. Jesus. Yeah, she somehow chimed into it. She got a lot of tech upgrades. Like, holy crap, she's just,
Yeah.
just apparently able to take a wicked beating and then bring herself back to being a normal,
Oh no, she could
which is pretty
always
awesome.
she could always take a wicked beating, but all of a sudden she's a transformer. Like she has like fucking Optimus's Prime flight gear, and then she has the arm that turns into a gun. I was like, holy shit!
I kind of thought she was Mega Man at one point, especially when she had that like one flying suit. It was like Mega Man.
You see?
I was expecting exactly.
You just see them running across.
Dragon comes down, starts throwing fireballs at him
Um,
or her.
but yeah, no, I loved how they changed the direction of the movie because I didn't expect them to make it a lot about because a lot of the movie is about Rocket, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I love that it was about Rocket and not just Quill or just overall it was about everybody obviously, but the main focus was Rocket in this one, and
Yeah,
I really like it because they didn't do that trope where oh, this character is shot, we're gonna take him out of the movie and we're gonna bring him back at the end, right? Which is kind of what they did with Rocket, but what they did was they took the time to tell you his backstory instead in flashbacks as he's trying to heal, and
yeah.
I just thought it was beautifully done. I thought it was so good. And I'll tell you what, I told my wife this today. I said how Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did a better job of making me care for animals than PETA ever did. Like, it really did. It really did.
No kidding. The whole I loved Counter Earth for some reason.
It was, yeah, it's kind of creepy, but yeah.
Yeah,
Um, so I love the
but
movie from beginning to end. I thought the humor was spot on. Drax, Mantis, they were all hilarious in their own ways. The the
oh
the,
my
the
god,
moment when Mantis makes the security guard fall in love with Drax, I was like, oh wow,
that was perfect.
that was
That
perfect.
was
Um, when who was it? Oh, it was Gamora who points out that it sounds like you like Nebula, and then like the Quill just switches over to Nebula, and I was like, oh shit.
he's about to hit on, or when he was like basically trying to have this whole heart to heart with Gamora, and then they realized that they've been talking in open comms the entire
Yeah,
time,
and the
and
color
all the different
coding.
colored
Yeah.
buttons.
There was that, like, the humor was
And-
just, it was good, and it didn't feel
yeah,
forced, it didn't feel rushed, it was just nice. Um,
yeah.
you said how you felt like, wait, did you only feel like the end was rushed, or the movie, or like segments of the movie was rushed?
No, just the end I found was rushed. Maybe some parts of it felt like they passed by too quick, but not overly, not too much. Like it was just kind of going from one like little quest to the next quest. Like once they
Mm-hmm.
went when they went to that whole bio planet or whatever the hell it was, that bio station.
Mm-hmm.
I thought everything there kind of passed by quick. They're like, oh, we got to the space station. Let's go find this information. But
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden they're found out and everyone's going guns a blazing. I was like, wow, that was kind of fast. Not like too fast, but it was good. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of stuff going on, and they stuck around there for a good bit.
Mm-hmm. And I love that they made Gamora a dick, and they kept her a dick the entire movie.
Oh yeah,
They were like, yeah, no, she's not who you think she is. This is a different person, and that's it. That's not changing. I thought it was
no,
great, and
I
for
completely
some
forgot Stallone. Stallone was in this
the
movie.
original Ravagers, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember for some reason the scene stands out for me in the organic planet there when Quill is like yelling at Gamora and he's like telling all these random people their story. It's just fucking weird.
Mm.
And at one point he's like, "We don't kill people, we don't hurt people," and Gamora just walks in and blasts this woman in the leg, and she just starts freaking out. And I was like, "Holy shit, man!" Um, it was great. From like I really enjoyed it. What I will say it was a little too long. Like I feel like it didn't have to be 2 hours and 45 minutes, you know. But it is a nice send off for the entire
Yeah.
cast. I think it's a great send off for all of them. I just feel like there's
Yeah.
some segments you could have cut out. Okay, Adam Warlock,
Yeah.
he's
I,
hilarious.
I
He's hilarious.
that's
Okay,
I found he was hilarious, but I do find he was kind of a little bit wasted. He was just like a guy to go around strong arming a lot of things and pushing the plot forward a bit,
what?
and that was about it.
That's the
But I like
thing.
that actor.
That's the thing though. I wouldn't just say he I wouldn't even say he pushed the plot along because take him out of the movie. What changes? Nothing.
Not really. The only thing you really get to see like is just I guess a little bit of how the High Evolutionary is a bit of a dick and he made not I guess he kind of made Adam Warlock, but not entirely. He just made their
Incubation
civilization.
chamber, or yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, he made their whole civilization. That's right.
yeah,
Sorry. Um, so I thought Adam Warlock was a waste, and when he was on screen, I knew I was gonna get a joke.
yeah,
That's pretty much what it turned into. When I saw him, I knew he was gonna be a joke. I knew there was gonna be no serious moment with him. Um,
yeah.
and I thought the movie was a little bit too long, and there was something else that bothered me a little bit about the movie. Well, oh yeah, sorry, the High Evolutionary himself.
Oh, you
I
didn't.
thought his character was great.
Okay.
Um, I just at the end, I was like, dude, you're just this dude to go around and yell at people now. You know, like you would be so much more menacing if you just talk.
Yeah, she actually did a little. He sounded all smart and like he was calculated,
Hmm.
and then all of a sudden he just went to being like crazed and egomaniac and like I just want the raccoon. I want to have his brain. He was
Yeah.
like, Really? Like you're gonna destroy everything you have to basically have nothing. Like I get like you want to have his thoughts or some of the stuff for perfection, being a perfectionist,
Hmm.
but like you got to have your limits, especially if you want to keep doing shit.
Yeah.
Which yeah,
Because I thought he was threatening at first. I was terrified of him. Like this guy
yeah.
had no problem smiling and calmly hurting animals and like torturing them and doing shit like that. And then at the end, he's just this.
Especially when he told freaking Raccoon that you're basically a he literally told him you are a number.
Yeah, straight up. And
Yeah,
and not only did he tell him that, right after he was so proud of him and what he just accomplished.
yeah.
He's like, I can't believe you just accomplished that number. You know, and and so that to me that's a terrifying villain. You know,
Hmm.
um, it's just when they turn him into like this screaming nut, just always screaming for some goddamn reason. I was like, all right, can we off him already? And correct me if I'm wrong, but they didn't really give him a backstory, right?
Not
We
really.
just know that he wanted to
He's
create the perfect world.
yeah. He just seemed like he was your generic villain,
Yeah.
wanted power and control.
Hmm. So, so
But
for me, he's a throwaway villain, unfortunately.
yeah,
To me, the real villain of the movie was the race against time to save Rocket. That that
pretty much.
that was the real villain.
I think he was kind of like I don't really know too much about what his character was in the actual comics,
Hmm.
but I knew I know that he had a big role to play as far as creating Rocket and doing all the other stuff on the side. I don't know if he's just was just a that's like a villain for the Guardians or if like he had more like interaction with more of the Marvel
Like
universe.
maybe Captain Marvel or other galaxy like superheroes or something. But I don't. You're right. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know myself. So
yeah.
all that was pretty much. Those are the three things I took away that I didn't really appreciate from the movie. A little bit too
Hmm.
long. Adam Warlock was a waste, and High Evolutionary just screams a lot at the end. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
It just makes no sense at all. I was like, why'd you have to ruin him? You set him up to be a good villain, and now he's another token villain. Um,
pretty much.
so what I like now, obviously it was the Guardians themselves. I love
Yeah,
how I love how I think it was Nebula who looked at Drax and said how you're not a you weren't meant to be a destroyer. You're meant to be a father. You know. After she saw how he
yeah.
interacted with the children, I was like, and it clicked for me. Like, and maybe it's a little bit too late, but it clicked for me. I'm like, yeah, this dude lost his wife and daughter. He wasn't a destroyer. He was a father. That's all he was. That's why he's so
Yeah.
goddamn clumsy, I guess. Um,
Pretty much.
and then you have Nebula's story also on how she projects her insecurities on people to make herself feel better. Obviously there's Quill's story, which he tried to settle with Gamora, and I really like the way they ended things with them. He's like, hey, she's like, I'm not who you think I am, and he goes, I know, but you're great the way you are. And then she goes back to the Ravagers, and he's like, he accepts that Gamora's gone and moves on.
Yeah.
He goes home, goes back to Earth, takes a break from the Guardians to meet his grandpa, who's 97 years old and still kicking it. And
Yeah, way to go, Gramps.
yeah, he looks good for 97. um,
Yeah, no kidding.
and uh, obviously Rocket, becoming the new leader, the new captain of the Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
which is comprised of him, Groot. What's the Ravager's name again?
Oh my God, I can't remember. Are you talking about the guy who could whistle?
Yeah, Yondu
Who
2.0.
basically got. Yeah, I shoot, I don't even remember that dude's name. Like they say it like two times in the movie.
You know what the worst part is? That guy is so talented. That actor. You know he does the
Hmm?
motion capture for Rocket Raccoon, eh?
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's him in a green suit running around as Rocket Raccoon. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
God damn. So not
um,
only is he doing his character, he's also like running around doing rockets as well.
yeah,
Frick, way to go for him.
yeah, man. um, so I like that they tied up everyone's story in a very nice way.
Yeah,
And like you said, at the end there was that pseudo death that they gave Star Lord. For a split second, I was
yeah.
like, "Oh shit, they actually killed him."
Oh, his name is Kraglin, and his
Yeah,
Sean Gunn.
yeah.
I'm guessing that's James Gunn's brother or something.
Oh,
Maybe.
I don't
I
know.
wonder.
Not sure. Maybe.
It's the both spelled the same way. So,
Hmm.
but anyways, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, and his banana's
Oh
like
yeah, it
crack
is his
on.
brother. It
Um,
is his brother.
but
Sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are some aspects that I really like, and I love that Groot is. I loved Groot in the first movie. I didn't like him in the second one, like Baby Groot. I was like, okay, fine, he's fucking cute. You can sell merch, great.
Kaiju, kaiju
Yeah,
mode.
kaiju mode. Oh my god, when Nebula said kaiju mode and he went fucking bonkers on what was it, Counter Earth? I was like, yes.
Oh, that was
um,
perfect.
he fucking deployed like what do you call it, like branch wings and flew off the crashing spaceship or the taking off spaceship. Like Groot fucking killed it. This movie, I loved it.
Yeah.
I didn't like Groot so much in Avengers: Infinity War either. Was he in? Yeah, he was in Endgame, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure. I just don't remember his role in Endgame.
I don't. You did. Frick, I can't even remember how much of
No,
him you
no,
see
no,
in.
no.
Maybe
He vanished. He vanished
yeah, I was gonna say.
in Infinity War. So I pointed out to Steph because I remember in the first movie, Rocket was explaining to people like nobody can understand him. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. Right. And then as the movies goes on, everyone begins to understand him. And then at the
Yeah.
end of this movie, this son of a bitch just belts out, "I love you guys."
No shit. Just. I think it was Vin Diesel. Just like, come on, give me something else I can do here.
I thought
I'm kind of a joke at this point.
for a second, I thought he was gonna say, family. I thought he was gonna do it, man. I thought he was gonna do it. But
No, that was.
sorry, my voice is very
I
tickly.
thought you were. I thought you were gonna point out the fact that Gamora realized that like you guys are just kind of guessing what he's saying and filling in the blanks, aren't you? Like
No,
basically
no, no,
called
no.
out.
There's an explanation for it all.
Oh,
It
really?
comes from the first movie, and maybe in the comics. I can't be 100% sure. But Rocket Raccoon, he explained it very briefly. It's like a couple of lines where he was saying like how only a few people could understand him, or only family could understand him, or something like that. So that's why throughout
Yeah.
the movies, people begin to understand him. And then
Hmm.
at the end, you see Gamora. He walks up to her and he says, "I am Groot," and she responds to him and she recognizes like, "Oh wait, I understood what you said," which means Groot thinks of her as family.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up a little bit. Well, this is my thought in the theater, and I looked it up, and exactly what I thought is correct. Apparently, that was supposed to be James Gunn, his way of telling the viewers that Groot thinks of the viewers as family now. So that's why we're able to understand him.
Huh.
I thought that was so cool, man. I really appreciate it. Like those
That
kinds of
that
detail.
that is actually pretty nice. That I didn't know, but actually knowing that now, yeah, that's actually really freaking cool.
So I thought that
That's
was
really nice.
super cool, man. Um, again, from beginning to end, great movie. Strong recommend. Um, if you had to give it a rating out of 10, what you giving it?
I'm stuck between like an 8 and an 8.5.
Hmm.
I thought it was really solid. There was a lot of touching moments. Um,
I teared up a few times, man.
oh yeah, no, believe me, the scene where Rocket actually died and whatnot, yeah, that was where Rocket died and where his friends got like you knew it was coming, but at the same time you were just like, God damn, that fucking sucks.
It was the scene when Rocket died, and also the scene when the team realizes Rocket's alive when they hear his voice on the comms.
Yeah, no, Nebula lost her shit. That
Hmm.
was goddamn.
I definitely teared up, and I'm gonna let you say your final rating before I give mine.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. Like I said, it was good all around. It wasn't like the villain wise that was probably the only thing that was really lacking, and the rushed like Quill death. I think it was just to kind of
Yeah,
send him off in some way.
it was like another last
I
minute
thought,
hook, you know.
yeah,
Like I thought for sure because like they made the whole story about Rocket, right?
yeah,
And This entire time, his life is hanging in the balance. And when he died on the ship, when they were just about to save him, I was like, if this is it, that's brutal, man. That's gonna destroy these people. But obviously,
Yeah.
that wasn't it.
No.
But then when Rocket went back on the ship to save all these creatures, I'm like, is Rocket gonna sacrifice himself and save all these creatures now? Because she told him he had a purpose. Like, is that his purpose? Save these things and then you can die. So
Yeah.
there was like a lot of up and down. Like, are they gonna die? Are they gonna live? Are they gonna die? So when it happened again for the third time with Quill, I was like, oh god, are we gonna do this again? They're throwing someone in the balance again. Like, this is getting a little annoying right now.
Yeah.
It was still good. It was just like, again. Um,
No, yeah. Those are pretty much my only real gripes about the movie. Other than that, it was fantastic. It was this movie that everyone was saying was better than Endgame, no? Or Infinity War? It was one of the
probably
two.
no.
I
I don't
keep
think it's
hearing,
Infinity War, but probably better than Endgame. People said.
yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot of the rumors of, and I can to some extent kind of agree.
Well, yeah, because it felt like classic Marvel before Disney.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. Peter Quill looked at Nebula and said, "Open the fucking door." It's like it was beautiful.
so,
It was great. It was
oh my god, yeah,
it was just great humor all around, and like they get their viewers, they understand what we want. And
yeah.
I hate to go down this route, but again, to me, not a fucking second of any politics whatsoever.
No,
Just
no,
a good story.
I didn't once like have like that question in my mind. What are they trying to do this for some kind of woke politics or
No,
whatnot or push their agenda? Like the not from
nothing. It was
beginning to the
just
end of the
a
movie.
good story about our characters. And if any fucking freaky ass purple hair crazy people are watching this, like, yeah, no, fucking Gamora kicks ass, fucking Nebula kicks ass.
Everyone kicked ass in their own, like literally in their own way. There was no one who didn't like that did not shine in this movie in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
Everyone had their moment. Everyone did their thing, and it was all done really, really damn well.
it was
Like
just, it
really,
was
really damn
just,
well.
it was just perfect in that aspect. And the one black guy was a bad guy. Wah wah. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shit.
But no. Again, great movie, and I'm gonna agree with you. 8.5 out of 10 for me. 8.5 out of
Yeah.
10. And just so you know, as I was gonna go in with that rating, and I was curious to see what you were gonna give it, to see how much you liked it, because we are technically saying, and I agree with this, that the Super Mario Brothers movie was better than this.
Yeah. and, and there was no real heartfelt moment in the movie in
No,
that
but we
movie
couldn't find
either.
anything to complain about.
I
It
know.
was just a bunch of member berries.
It really was, but it was just such a fun movie, the Mario movie. Like there was you couldn't really say anything bad. I mean, maybe if you really want to nitpick, but it was just
Mhm.
all around it was fun. It was what I think everyone was looking for, and yeah, it was just a great movie.
I'm a little bit confused by the second post credit scene. Um,
I see that I missed. That there was another one after the whole rocket and
yeah,
all the aliens
it
and
was
whatnot.
Quill with his grandfather talking about cutting the grass while he's eating something at the dinner table, and his grandfather's like, "Don't start with me." um, but the screen fades out and it goes completely white, and it says the legendary Star Lord will return.
Okay,
I thought he was done. I thought they were all done. And it didn't. And to be fair, it didn't say the Guardians will return. It said Star Lord will return.
okay,
Yeah. Now I
interesting.
would have to go back and check to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it always said the Guardians of the Galaxy will return in the past. Now it said just
No,
Star
yeah,
Lord will return.
no, yeah, you're right. It did say what's it? It did say the Guardians would return. Like the first one, and I can't remember if the second one had anything to do with the Infinity War timeline. Did it? Was it in that whole phase?
If the second one,
Yeah, Volume 2 was that in the whole Infinity War saga? Yeah,
oh
no, it
yeah,
must have been
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
Thorin at that point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think in both of them they said they would return.
Exactly. So now it's saying only Star Lord will return, and I thought all these guys were done. They're not coming back for any of these movies anymore, because when Disney kicked James Gunn off of this project for getting Me Too or whatever was happening with there,
Yeah,
apparently all the actors just went on strike. And they're like, if
Ooh,
James Gunn ain't directing it, I ain't doing it.
ooh.
Yeah, and they brought him back. They brought him back, and the movie happened, and it was fantastic. You know,
Mhm.
it was Marvel level, like from back in the days when you were excited to go to the theaters. Like I haven't been excited to go into theaters in a freaking long time, to be honest.
Yeah,
um,
no kidding.
and now I wish that I was for this movie because I wish I had anticipation built up for it because I was going in there expecting a shit show or something very mediocre. But it was what I remember. It was what I remember growing up with, you know,
Yeah.
and that felt great, honestly. And if I know that they need to make these movies for the next generation that are going to enjoy them, you know.
Mhm.
Holy crap!
Was that on your end?
Steph coughing upstairs.
Okay.
Jesus, I don't know. It's just choking on her water.
Who exactly was that random kid at the end? Was that just some random kid that apparently developed powers?
With the Guardians,
Yeah.
it was one of the people on the slave ship, one of the kids.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It was just like you didn't really see much of her or anything special about her, and then all of a sudden her eye starts to glow.
Yeah, not sure
I
what
was
she
like, okay.
does, but um, shit. What was I gonna say? Crap, I forgot now. Sorry. Steph's coughing fit scared the crap out of me.
No, you were talking about how like everyone from the Guardians was done,
Yeah, like
and
I honestly thought that they were not going to do any more of these. That this is it. This is the end of Guardians, and it honestly felt like that. Like these
mm,
characters ain't coming back. You know, they
yeah,
all went off and did their own thing. Oh, she's alive. It's good to know. Um, and um, and yeah, just it just. Oh, what I was saying was how I know it's made for the next generation. These movies, right? And maybe the
mm,
next generation love Thor, Love and Thunder. That's
yeah.
the kind of entertainment they want. But it's just that my issue is that like obviously that movie was a little bit polarizing. Ant Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was obviously polarizing. Not I won't say polarizing. It wasn't polarizing, but it was just it didn't do well in my opinion. People didn't overall. People just didn't like it, right?
Well, I feel like they basically took what they did in the second movie by making Ant-Man like a side piece, and then just went a little bit more with that with everybody else.
Well, it pushed his daughter front and center, right?
Yeah,
So
because again,
and that's fine. If you want to introduce the daughter, that's great. But I came here to see Ant Man,
yeah,
um,
no.
and and I don't know why. I don't
I,
know why they don't learn from that mistake. Using one
I,
property to
I
sell
feel
another.
like that's what. No, yeah, I feel like that's why Guardians worked is that like it was a group of people, and you put the entire group up ahead, whereas all the other ones it's supposed to be focusing around one
Hmm.
person, but then they kind of just sideline that person and
It
focus
was
on
like
somebody else.
fucking Doctor Strange, dude. You have a great cast.
Yeah.
You have Wong. You have Doctor Strange. You have Wanda, and
Mhm.
then you bring in America Chavez. Fuck who? It's like-
Which she literally didn't do nothing other than drive the point forward or the plot forward,
yeah,
I
she.
guess.
Yeah, every now and then she would sneeze and
You're
a
just a
portal would
plot
open.
device. Yeah. Yeah, basically.
So like I was saying, I understand these movies have to be made for the next generation, but like when I look at those movies, like 50% of people like them, 50% don't like them, right?
Mm.
So the new
Yeah.
generation likes it, the old generation doesn't care, and it killed their drive to want to see these movies. And now with a movie like Guardians, I think the new generation likes it, and the old generation likes it. Like, why can't that be your bar?
Yeah,
Why
no
can't that be
kidding.
where we set the level? You know what I mean? I don't know, it's just it's strange. It's strange to me that they don't want to do that. So I'll never understand the politics behind the scenes, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. And next up is Indiana Jones. We get to see
Oh
we
boy.
get to see some elderly abuse and
Oh my God.
come on, Gramps. And but actually, this weekend coming up is Transformers. So
Yes.
I'll see if I get my hands on that. I'll see if I can go take a look at that movie, man. Because I don't know, it's Beast Wars. It's what I grew up with. I didn't grow up with the
I know.
cartoons, so I grew up with Beast Wars.
I know, but that was such a fun series.
Yeah,
Still to this day, Rat Trap was one of my favorite characters.
Rat Trap to me is Rocket Raccoon.
And yeah, basically.
Rat Trap is really Rocket Raccoon in my opinion. And
Yeah.
oh man, I would love to see a fuck. I want to see Rhinox. Oh man,
Which Rhinox? Like
not
the
the not
nice
not the
friendly
Beast
Rhinox,
Machines
or
one. The Beast Wars one.
okay,
Yeah, so the
like
nice
the
one.
one. Okay. Yeah, I know because he had a whole like I didn't see much of the other series, but apparently he had he had a lot of ulterior motives, and they kind of switched up his character. But it made sense why they switched up his character. Well, at least once you find out why he is the way that he is.
Hmm. And yeah, so we'll see what we come out next with. And I want to thank everybody who joined to check out the
Yeah.
review. It's much appreciated. And if you're watching the channel, if you like, subscribe, share. You know the spiel. Just do it. Just do it. Oh, I'm gonna put that meme right there. It's just,
I like that she put that she's alive and keep going.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. It's always good to know she's alive, I guess. All right, folks, y'all take it easy. Thanks for joining again.
Peace.